Hello.
Ha ha! That be no monster, Percy. That be an engine. Ahoy there, matey. Ha ha ha! I think they all thought you were a sea monster.
I didn't think you were a monster. Oops.
A monster? Oh, I don't usually get mistaken for a monster. Mind you, they do call me Gator. It seems they think my long sloping water tank makes me look like an alligator.
Gator? Oh, that's a great name.
Well, my real name is Gerald, but I quite like being called Gator.
And I like being called Thomas.
Or should we call you Sandy now?
And the little green tank engine is my friend Percy. Hello.
Hello, Percy. I'm sorry if I gave you a fright. I was in a hurry to catch a ship.
Then the dock manager arrived. He was not very happy to see his docks in such a mess.
What is going on here? Those cars should be in Vickerstown by now, Percy.
Sorry, sir. I was just leaving. Goodbye, Gator.
Goodbye, Percy.
Percy felt very silly for thinking the new engine was a monster, but he was still a little worried. And that night, as he set out to take the mail train, he seemed to see monsters everywhere.
What's that just around the corner? Something in the rocks and trees. Slowly, slowly getting closer. Makes you want to puff and wheeze. Monsters everywhere, hiding in the trees. Just behind the rocks, blowing in the breeze. Monsters everywhere, doing as they please. They try to scare you. Is your boiler getting colder as you slowly puff around? Must be brave, you must be bolder. It's no more than silly sounds. Monsters everywhere, hiding in the trees. Just behind the rocks, blowing in the breeze. Monsters everywhere, doing as they please. They try to scare you. Look out, they're all about. Where? Look out, they're all about. Where? Look out, they're all about. Where? Oh, that's not so scary.
The next morning, Thomas woke up early and headed straight to the clay pits. His branch lines were still under construction.
Dig up, I like to dig down. I like to dig up treasure that's never been found. Do you dig digging like I dig?
Hello, Timothy.
Hello, Thomas.
Find anything unusual in there?
Like what?
I don't know. Footprints from a monster or something? You and your tricks? You nearly made me blow a safety valve.
We were only saying hello. Poor thing. You'd think he'd seen a steam shovel.
Meanwhile, Poor nervous Percy had gone to Brendam Docks to collect some cars. Percy was very sleepy after staying awake all night, keeping a lookout for monsters.
Oh no! Oh, Percy! Help! What's that?
Percy, stop! You've left your cars behind.
Oh! What?
Silly Percy! Only us!
Are you always such a nervous engine? You're acting like there's something chasing you down the tracks.
Sorry, it's just... Thomas said...
Percy did feel a little silly.
Never mind.
Back at the clay pits, Thomas was shunting cars for Marion and trying to see if he could spot any footprints.
Okay, Thomas, that's a lot, but hurry back, okay? I'll stay here and dig until I fill up some more cars. There's plenty of digging still to do. Plenty of digging.
Maybe I didn't see anything that night. Maybe the lightning was playing tricks on me.
Hurry up, Ben. I need to fill my water tank too.
Playing tricks on me.
And then an idea flew into Thomas's funnel.
Be patient, Bill. You'll get your turn. I've been patient for ages.
Hey, Bill. Hey, Ben. Can I ask you a question?
You just did, Thomas.
What? Oh, yes. I was just wondering, the other day before you rescued me from the landslide, were you playing a trick on me?
A trick? That landslide was not a trick.
Oh, I don't mean the landslide. I saw something else.
We risked our boilers for you, Thomas. That's right. We could have been caught in that landslide too. Yeah! What he said.
Thomas hadn't meant to upset Bill and Ben. He just wanted to find out where the big footprints had come from, and whether they were footprints at all. It was already dark when Thomas finally returned to Tidmouth Sheds. He was very surprised to find Percy still in his berth.
Percy, aren't you supposed to be taking the mail train? You should have left by now.
I know, Thomas, but last night I kept seeing things that looked like monsters.
Monsters?
A monster?
They weren't really monsters. They were only silly things like a haystack or a shirt on the line. But there could still be a monster out there. Please, Thomas, would you take the mail train for me? Just tonight?
All right, Percy. I suppose I could.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you! You're a good friend.
Oh, Percy, you're such a scaredy engine.
Percy couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Thomas and wondering if he was okay. But Thomas finally finished the mail run and came back, safe and sound.
No monsters?
No monsters.
But what about the footprints?
It was dark and stormy that night in the clay pits. I don't even know for sure that I saw any footprints. You should try to get some sleep, Percy. There's nothing to worry about.
At last, Thomas's branch line was opened again.
Wake up, Clarabelle. We're back in business. Oh, is that Thomas? Oh, how delightful.
Here we go!
It's not fair. You get to pull coaches, and I get sent for scrap.
Sent for scrap?
Oh, James, that's terrible. You still look really useful to me.
No, I mean sent to the scrapyard to collect cars filled with scrap.
Oh, I see. Oh, silly us. Yes, silly us.
Cheer up, James. Pulling cars isn't so bad.
You can't always do the jobs you like best.
James was not a happy engine as he puffed to the scrapyard.
Hello, scaredy engine. Seen any monsters lately?
You can tease if you want to, James. But there really might be a monster on Sodor, you know.
Huh, puff and nonsense. There's no such thing as monsters.
Well, Thomas saw giant footprints up at the clay pits, and nobody knows what made them.
Giant footprints? Huh, I wonder where...
Hello, mate. Oh, you came in fast. Scrap give you a bit of a fright, did it?
No, I'm not scared of pieces of metal and rusty old machines.
Is that right? Well, aren't you the big engine? Reg is the name. I'm the scrapyard crane.
Well, I'm James, and I usually pull coaches.
Well, there's a surprise.
Meanwhile, Percy had arrived at the docks. But he didn't expect to find Gator still there.
Gator! Hello! Are you working on Sodor now?
No, Percy. I missed my ship. I'm just helping the dock manager while I wait for another one. He needs me to collect some cars from Duck's branch line tonight.
Tonight? But aren't you afraid of monsters?
Monsters? What monsters? Monsters would probably be afraid of me.
Wow. You're brave, Gator. I wish I was as brave as you are.
You might be braver than you think, Percy. I wasn't always as brave as I am now. I'm designed to work in the high mountains, Percy. That's why my water tanks are this special shape. But just because you're designed for something doesn't mean you can't be afraid of it. And it was a shock for me to find out that I was afraid of heights. One day, I was faced with having to cross a high bridge. Higher than any bridge I'd ever seen before. But I was pulling cars loaded with important supplies. The villagers needed my help. I decided I must be brave. It took everything in me to cross that bridge. But I did it, even though I was scared. So you see, being brave isn't